Welcome to My Dearest Theories. What? My Dearest Theories. Repeat that? My Dearest Theories!
Oh.
Okay. Hey you guys, it's Watcher Ralph, and this is another episode of My Dearest Theories. And in this episode, we're going to cover, will Captain America die a virgin? To recap, yes, he is a virgin if you guys didn't realize it. Because yes, of course, the MCU has been moving forward like a machine just steamrolling ahead. But when you think back, not only is he a virgin, but he's only kissed 4 women in his life. 2 of them being meaningful, and yet that's even an uncomfortable situation. See, the first person he kissed was a total stranger who just wanted to thank him for his service. And that was meaningless because Peggy Carter walked in on it. So, yeah. And then his second kiss was with Peggy Carter. And that was a beautiful love story. It's actually my favorite love story in the MCU. But that relationship was cut short. They never got to dance like they hoped. And then he sacrificed himself and was frozen. And luckily they thawed him out modern day. And the next kiss he had was to Black Widow, which of course was basically to camouflage themselves. That's how sad Captain America is at the end of the day, that even the first kiss he's had in almost 80 years was meaningless. So for Cap in that moment, it was about good old-fashioned red, white, and blue. Awkward. Yeah. And then the next and last kiss he's had was to Sharon Carter, which definitely was a flirtation and a liking there, but even that kiss lost its deep meaning because that happens to be a relative of Peggy Carter. So yes, awkward. So then I have to admit that the character that I respect the most in the MCU has never even made it past first base. You're out! Come on. And forget about intimacy. He wasn't even alone with any of these women during any of these situations. Like I said, Peggy Carter walked in on his first kiss. Tommy Lee Jones was sitting right next to Peggy during their kiss. Black Widow's kiss happened in a crowded mall. And last but not least, when he was kissing Sharon Carter, his 2 best friends were staring at them in the distance. Awkward. No wonder Cap kept talking about surveillance and invasion of privacy in Captain America Winter Soldier. Because he didn't get any. So, he didn't get any. Come on. So no matter how you think back at his life, yeah, he's a virgin. Peter Parker has a lot more in common with his friend from Brooklyn than he could ever imagine. Plus, ever since Civil War, he's been a fugitive and grew out a beard. So yeah, maybe that works for you ladies, but I doubt that that's the intention behind it. He doesn't have time to sit around and go on dates. And the thing is, the reason why I'm asking the question is, I don't believe that Captain America will die a virgin, but also that the writers don't have any plans of taking away his virginity, and that they won't kill him while he is a virgin. So, Captain America hasn't realized it. His shield that has made him invincible and invulnerable at this point wasn't the vibranium shield he used with the American symbol on it. No. That's why sooner or later he didn't even need it no more. His shield this whole time has been his virginity. And it's proven when you think of the rules in horror films, which you could always apply to any movie really, because it's all about the psychology of how people are going to react in a situation. And just like in Scream, what did they say? The virgins are safe, they're not going to die. But in all seriousness, when I'm talking about virginity, I'm really referring to life experience. And as we all know, once Steve Rogers took the super soldier serum, he's never had any personal time, especially in the modern day. And anything that resembled a life has been cut in the Avengers by Joss Whedon and in Avengers Infinity War by the Russo brothers, including a scene with Sharon Carter, because Seeing the symbol that stands against injustice, sitting and relaxing as a man, doesn't really propel the story forward. So we don't really get a lot of Steve Rogers moments. And because of that, those scenes aren't as meaningful and don't resonate as much as they need to in order to make the cut. So that's why someone like Tony Stark could get an entire scene in the park with Pepper Potts, because he's had a full arc. He's gone through an entire life's journey in the MCU. While Captain America can't even stop to go out for some coffee. Come on! And a perfect example of proof to understand the psyche of Steve Rogers and to see what he considers unattainable is if you read the comic book series House of M, in which Scarlet Witch changes everybody's reality and she gives every superhero the life that they've always desired to keep them happy and complacent in the lie. But when certain superheroes find out the truth and they go looking for Captain America, they go to his apartment. But what do they find? An old version of Steve Rogers, living a quiet life, doing the simple things like checking the mail. And to me, that showed that his desire was less about not being frozen for all those years and living a life in his era, but more about the fact that all that time would give him a chance to live a full life with family, with friends, being able to grow old, retire, and do all the mundane things a normal person could do, while telling himself that he's done enough. And it's not that he won't help, but that he can't help anymore. But it also makes it sad because the fact that it is his fantasy proves that it's the one thing he believes he'll never obtain because of his selflessness. He would never turn his back on the people. His nature will never allow him the opportunity to have these things, including bow chicka bow bow. Yeah. Now that being said, I acknowledge that that might even be the possible reason why he would die, since he's a character that doesn't really go through an arc. Because think of it like this: since the moment we met him, he's always been the same man. The only thing that changed was that he took on the super soldier serum. And the reason why he took it was because he was the one man that deserved it. So he never needed an arc of self-discovery. He's always been the man that has lived by certain ideals: truth, justice, and values. And no matter what, even when he came into modern day, it's not about him changing. It's about his unwillingness to change and standing his ground against the way we think modernly, the way we feel about invasion of privacy, the way they feel about the Accords in Civil War. He's the man that stands his ground, and even in Avengers says, screw forgiveness, I'm not even asking for permission anymore. So he's never going to have a life. He's always made the sacrifice to be this ideal. He's more of a symbol than a man. And because of that, you could imagine him dying in a battle, making the sacrifice. But then again, even if a writer wrote this, I would think somewhere down the line, even the day of filming, the writer or the directors would go, can we really kill Captain America being a virgin? And I would say no. Not at all. And no, they're not going to give him a one-night stand or a quickie, because he's a man of ideals and values. He's a man that cares about the romance. Most likely, he would want to court a woman first. So because of that, the only way he's going to get that chance is in a happy ending, life goes on type of way. Because yes, he's made the choice to make sacrifices not to have a life. But come on now. You think that we're going to be okay with the writers depriving him of the chance to have one? So no matter what, not only will Captain America not die a virgin, he won't die because he is one. Also, it has to be stated, he was born on the 4th of July, 1918. So forget about the 40-year-old virgin with Steve Carell. Avengers 4 is going to be the 100-year-old virgin with Steve Rogers. So yeah, everybody's been talking about the repercussions of infinity, when we should be talking about the consequences of virginity. Ponder on that. And if you want, you can check out my other video where I talk about Iron Man, where in the contrary to Captain America, he's experienced life more than anyone else. And I use the theory of how war movies play out to make sense of what I believe is going to happen to him. So, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you thought of this theory. Let me know if you think he's going to die or not. And let me know who you think is going to die in the next Avengers movie. But for now, share, like, and subscribe. And you can check out some more of my Dearest Theories by clicking over here. Plus, you can check out some of my reviews by clicking down here. Till we meet again, goodbye. See you guys.